It's time. Let's round off the last creations of this awesome Mask of Light Collab. And we're going to be looking at revamps of the 6 Matoran sets that were released in 2003. Oh, it's always a joy to look at Matoran mocks. I don't think I do that enough. So let's do it now. We're going to kick it off with Eero Okanonen and his revamp of the legend himself, Murro. Oh, I have been so excited to talk about this mask. Let me do a cheeky side-by-side between the original and the mock. You can see just how good this is. It's captured the likeness so well. Eero has increased the size of the mask, which I think kind of makes sense. Gives you a bit more room to add in detail, and hey, when you get an end result that looks this good, do whatever the heck you want. Make it bigger, make it smaller, I don't care, just make it look good. So what do we got? More details on the scope eye, especially, changing up the color, even adding in some greebles on the side. I like that. Murro even now has a little mustache. Oh, adorable. Couple that with the tile that looks a bit like an eyebrow just here. I get the sense that Murro is this savvy adventurer who probably sounds a little bit like this. And I don't know if that works for Murro, but I feel like it does. I don't know, I think I like it. If you're curious, of course, this mustache is made with minifigure arms. Rip them off the torso, put them on the face, you really got something. See, this is what I love about a revamp. This is one of my favorite things to see. Upgrades to the original that, change it up, improve it, but still feel, close to the original. But then you got brand new touches that feel so personal to the builder that made it. See, Eero is a person that likes to build a lot of humanoid characters. Characters that often do have beards and mustaches, that kind of stuff. And Eero himself has a beard, so yeah, looking at this, you can just feel the original builder's presence. This build feels so uniquely him. No one else could build this like he did. There's something really heartwarming about that. The arms make use of these macaroni pieces, a piece that, to this day, I don't think I've seen anyone use it and it hasn't looked amazing. It's a very good piece, perfect for limbs. We also have these pieces. These are the masks from some of the old LEGO Hockey sports sets. Now, each set, I believe, came with a few different variants of the mask, different styles, different shapes, whatever, but they do translate very well into armor. And actually, we got some more right here on this kind of statue with a mask on it. Perhaps this is some sort of trophy for winning the Coley match that the Matoran are playing. Or, I don't know, it could be a statue that celebrates one of the previous champions of the Coley sport. And whatever it is, I like this, it's a nice touch. And there is something about the shape and feel of this mask that really does look like carved stone. This is an excellent Murro revamp. Well done. Moving on over to the Water Tribe, here is the Coley champion, Hully. This is expertly made by Panavara. I love the little flower in her hair. Actually, I've seen a few people give water characters flowers on their heads. And there is something about it that just works. It's a great way to add in a nice pop of color, and it's just a good way to, breathe new life into the character. Much like I was saying with those macaroni pieces for limbs, flowers on the heads of Water Toa, or Matoran rather, or either one, whatever you want to do. Flowers in the hair of those kinds of characters, it's impossible for it to not look good. What about those eyes? Look at that. It's a facial expression that's so full of life and joy. I believe that this is achieved with the use of some of these panel pieces. Just angling them on their side, placing them behind the mask, sort of embedding them in a little bit as well. You get the cutest, happiest little face ever. And I feel like you could really only do this on a mask that's transparent. It wouldn't quite work on other masks. Hey, actually, speaking of that mask, there's a lot to talk about on this face. This is a very rare variant of Hully or Gully's mask. This is a trans medium blue version of the mask, not the original trans dark blue. If you want to pick up this mask, it is not cheap. It's going to run you about $300 dues right now on Bricklink, as a minimum price. I wish I had that mask, man, but I ain't paying that much money. That's a lot of money for one frickin' Lego piece. Still, I think it fits in here very, very well. Moving on down, I'm in awe of the kind of effects that have been added in here. The dust, the smoke kicking up as they're playing Coley and feverishly getting into it. It almost has some like anime-like qualities to it. Intense, dope animation that brings this sport game to life. You can feel the tension, you can feel the excitement. It's a beautiful snapshot in time, freezing this right as she's taking a strike at that Coley ball and is ready to hit a goal. Details like this make this an incredible display piece. Now, how is that smoke or dust? How has that been made? It's simple. This is achieved with some different minifigure helmets, hair, all that kind of stuff. It's quite clever. Another quite clever idea is something made by Brick Diamonds, or Todd. Todd has made Copek. Copeki? I never knew how to say that character's name. Because it's Kopaka and they changed the A's for E's. It always confused me. Anyway, so look, we've been talking about it, yeah. The Matoran in the sets and in these revamps, they're all playing the sport Coley, which is essentially just Bionicle hockey. And I love that Todd said, hey, let's really lean into that concept and make Copek an actual hockey player. Everything down from the colors to the body shape to the newly enhanced Coley staff. Everything about this is so hockey coded. And maybe you don't like it because it feels a little too real world. It's not really grounded in the world and the lore of Bionicle. But who cares? It looks great, it's charming, and I don't know. It just makes sense. And it just works. I love these ice skates hanging around the body. Making use of some of these pieces right here, that was smart. I remember these pieces from some old Lego trains. But they really are the perfect finishing touch to build these ice skates. And these shoulders as well. Something about the shape and the bulk really does look appropriate for a hockey player. These were previously seen in a set like this. They were used as part of the, I don't know, do you call it armor for a motorbike? Is that the term, armor? The shell of a motorbike, and whatever it's called, that's the piece, and it looks good right here. This whole mock looks really good. Yo, next we have Hookie. Daniel Brickson has built this. Hookie comes with lots of lovely dark orange pieces. And thankfully, G2 gave us even more pieces in that beautiful, beautiful color. So yeah, it is quite refreshing to see all these different pieces from very different time periods being put together to make something exceptional. Like, hey, there's Pahatu G2's mask tucked into the torso. Isn't that nice? It's also been really fun seeing how each builder has stylized and personalized their Coley stuff. Each one has been a little different, from the color to the shape to the style. I like that. It seems fun, right? Maybe that's a part of the DNA of the sport. Each player has to personalize their staff, and perhaps it says something about who they are as a player. Sure, they all could have had the exact same design for their Coley staffs, like the sets did, but to me this is more exciting. Like this, for example, using this piece right here. A piece that actually could very well hold a Coley ball or a Zamasphere, whatever you want to use, and it would look pretty good. Heck, if you really wanted to actually play Coley with your sets, you could actually play with it using this piece. Now, this piece of course appears on pretty much every Republic Gunship LEGO Star Wars set. It's a really fun piece that allows for a lot of posability on these cannons. Yeah, but you know, you remove some of the pieces from the inside, and it takes on a whole new life. Lovely. Up next, it's another Hafu original. This is Hafu by D3X3, otherwise known as Sadie. I'm very drawn to this piece of armor. Seeing that brown strap that links it onto the shoulder, I don't think I've ever really seen something like that before. The idea of incredibly minimal armor. That approach rocks. People like to really deck out their mocks with heaps and heaps of stuff, all sorts of shiny silver armor, and that's great. But only a little bit like this, even better. And a brown strap too, oh, I could keep talking about this, I love it. While we're talking about torsos, we got a dark tan Tahu mask right here in the middle. It's placed on its side and it's really embedded in there. It's pretty cool. This mask would have come from AliExpress. It's a custom mask, and that's why this comes in dark tan. No official sets, of course, feature this mask in that color. But you know, Sadie is the queen of taking masks and converting them into body armor or details that are anything but a face. And every time, dude, it looks so good. It's nice to see this done right here. It's a stroke of genius. I'm also in love with these limbs. They're so like minimally detailed. Like look at it, it's 3 pieces. But that's all that this needs. There is a real art to placing less pieces. It's hard to make fewer pieces look really clean, professional, and good. But see this is how you do it. If you added anything else to this, it would be too much. Less is sometimes more. The final Matoran. Going back to the water tribe, it's Maku. This is made by Rose's Must Build. I still love this dynamic action of her rising up into the air and whacking that collie ball, about to score a goal. It's so sick. God, I can just picture this on your shelf, a beautiful little display piece. Oh, and her staff is dark tan, that's fun. It's kind of what I spoke about before, the personalization of these staffs. It's so fascinating to see what each builder did and how they differ from one another. God, it makes me think, how fun would it be to build your own custom collie crew? A team of collie players ready to fight, ready to play. I like the sound of that. Give them hockey jerseys, make them all color-coded so they fit in one team. Oh, so fun. My favorite detail here has to be the torso. All that this needs for armor is the helmet from Sir Jaco, a LEGO Knights Kingdom set. But this is the second version of that helmet. This is the one that had a little bit more like printed detail. And it was a wise choice to use that one and not the original. Because don't those printed details look so nice on Maku? Yeah, and the way that this helmet neatly hugs the shape of the torso, it's a perfect addition. It was also a nice touch to add in some dark bluish grey into the color scheme. That wasn't there on the original, but ooh, I like it. God, this is good. And all the Matoran in this collab were just awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I loved this Mask of Light collab. So many cool mocks, and a lot of cool people. If you need a bit more inspiration, you want to see more from these builders, take a look at the links below. I hope you enjoyed this coverage of all 4 parts of the Mask of Light collab. If you haven't watched the others, be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching everyone, happy building, and bye for now. Yeah, babe, I watch sport. My favorite sport is collie. You might not have heard of it. It's from this thing called Bionicle.